Now, Tory MPs are pressuring the Home Office to bring in stricter measures after figures this week showed 1.2 million people migrated to the UK in 2022. Slightly misleading figure. It was a net migration of 600,000, so half of them left again. It's also been revealed that nearly 12,000 offenders who are eligible for deportation are still in the country.
That doesn't include us, by the way. Ministers want to raise the income threshold required for migrants to bring relatives to Britain, with the Home Secretary concerned that some nationalities are using the rules to move their families to the UK.
Let's talk to political commentator Peter Spencer. Morning to you, Peter. Oh, what a tangled web everybody weaves with this one. Everybody seems to want to bring migration down. Nobody seems to know how.
Well, that is a questionable point to make, if I may say so, because most certainly Suella Braverman wants to bring the figures down, but that the same does not apply either to the Treasury or indeed to the Department of Education. The largest chunk of migrants to this country are, in fact, students, and it's worth bearing in mind the fact that student fees have been capped for the last 13 years at something around £9,000. Well, think what inflation has done to that over the years. Now, when it comes to overseas students, they pay something like 4 times as much for the same courses. If it weren't for them, then frankly, an awful lot of universities would be on their knees. Therefore, the Education Secretary says, yes, bring them on, we need them. The second largest input to the figures of migrants is, in fact, the health service. And here we have a situation where there are nothing like enough places in medical schools to train our own people. And therefore, and also it takes, by the way, about 5 years to train a doctor anyway. And so if we didn't have these migrants actually helping us to run both the health service and indeed the care sector, then that would just implode. And therefore, Rishi Sunak has inherited from Boris Johnson promises to keep migration down, but he is actually kind of sort of skipping round that because of the fact that the Treasury needs, that the nation needs people to come in to plug essential gaps in employment and to raise the level of the economy. Without them, the Office for Budget Responsibility says, look, then the economy would suffer. So there is a mother of all turf wars going on between Suella Braverman and her department and, frankly, the rest of the government.
Peter, with the student visas, how does it work at the moment? Can you literally bring sort of like, your entire family over here? And when you finish studying, can you then stay over here? Is this what they're trying to clamp down on? What are the rules at the moment?
Well, that is what the Home Office are certainly pressing for, to make it a great deal more difficult for people to bring in their families. I mean, currently, yes, a lot of people can bring in their own families, and what the Home Office wants to do is to raise the thresholds here, and so it makes it more difficult for people to bring in their families. But I come back to it that there is still the problem that the universities need these people. I have to say, though, on the other side of the coin, of course, the effect of migration is that something like the population of Glasgow comes into the country each year and stays, and therefore, and of course, while looking at the demographic, they're not going to place the same level of pressure on either the health service or the education service as the population at large, but they still need somewhere to live. And there is an argument that says it might be a bit smarter of Rishi Sunak to play down the immigration thing and just quietly build a few more homes. On that front, it has to be said that Keir Starmer has already stolen a bit of a march by saying, listen, we are going to build new homes, and the NIMBYs they can swivel, because we're going to build them, if need be, in the Green Belt.
OK. Peter, thanks very much indeed.